Who's in, who's out? These are the 12 teams we think are going to make the NFL playoffs based on 7 weeks of play. Let's spin it around. Let's go who's in, who's out. Let's start with the East. Patriots won big last night. They are undefeated. They got nobody. Actually, I shouldn't say nobody close. 5-1 Buffalo, New England 7-0. I would imagine. I'm going to speak for everybody here. We're all going Patriots.
Yeah, did you see the stat about how the Patriots have more interceptions than they're on the field than the offense has touchdowns?
Unbelievable. By the way, last night, you were wondering how could they cover and hit the under?
Well, they did.
There you go.
That's exactly how you do that.
By the way, I profited.
Yes, and you're 6 for 6.
6 for 6.
You'll have
6-0, baby.
You'll
Let's
have your
go.
pick coming up here shortly. AFC North, we got really a 2.5 game lead for Baltimore over Cleveland, although Cleveland did beat Baltimore, so you kind of have that going for you. But Baltimore 5-2, Cleveland 2-4. Who's going anybody but Baltimore?
Baltimore for me.
It's always been Cleveland for me, but I made a change.
Oh, we got a change.
Wow.
Well, as you mentioned, the 2.5 game lead plus the Browns' next game is at New England. So I'd have to think that even if the Ravens don't win that week, they're still going to be 2.5 to 3 ahead. So
I had preseason Pittsburgh, but in week 1 I changed to Baltimore and have not changed since. All right, let's go to the South. I'm going Colts in the South over Texans. I know that they're going to play again, but I just like this Colts team. I like Frank Reich. I mean, Brissett's been great. Their defense is good. Their offensive line. This guy Nelson might win the MVP. He's that good. I mean, as a guard, he might be the best player in the league.
They look great. I had them in the wild card last week, guys, for who's in, who's out. This week, they're in the AFC South for me.
Yeah, I'm still going Texans. I still think when it dust settles, and I think they'll win their game in Houston against the Colts. And when it's all said and done, I think the Texans are going to win division.
All right.
Just got Gary and Conley, so upgraded.
That's true.
Again.
In the West, it's a 2-game lead for Kansas City over Oakland, Denver, and the Chargers. I mean, unless they go on one of those Charger 10-game win streaks and just fall short like they have in the past, what a disappointment they've been. It's made the West really, the Chiefs division. Now, they're not going to have Mahomes for the next couple of weeks, but anybody going Oakland here?
No,
that's a negative.
I love what they've done. I mean, I said it yesterday that I think that game against the Packers was closer than the score implied, but you don't get any brownie points for that. But it's the Chiefs division.
Enough to put them in your wild card? Who you got?
For the wild card, I have the Bills. How can you not go Bills? And like I just said, I had the Texans last week for the AFC South, so I'm not ready to completely eliminate them from playoff contention. For this week, I have the Texans, but I tell you what, guys, the Raiders are definitely on my bubble for the wild card.
Well, they got to be in the AFC. The only other team that's 500.
Right, but it's weird to say. We'll see if they can actually maintain the play that they've had so far.
Other than the teams that we just all picked to win the division, and I'm assuming the 2 wild card teams, the Raiders are the only other 500 team in the conference. Now, who are your 2 wild cards?
My wild cards are the Colts and the Bills.
Right.
I removed the Browns altogether and put the Bills in.
Right. So, and I have the Bills and the Texans. Other than those 6 teams that we all put in, the Raiders have a 500 record, and nobody else in the conference is over 500. In fact, in the East, you have 1-11 between the Jets and the Dolphins. Between Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and the Bengals, they are 4 and what? 14? 4 and 13, something like that? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. So 4 and 15 between those 3 teams. The 2 teams in the South are 6 and 8, and the 2 teams in the West are 2 and 10 between the last 2.
Imagine being 3 and 3 with a minus 38 in the net scoring there. That's what the Oakland Raiders are.
And really being
Jaguars and Titans
one
are
game
hanging
out.
around.
They're both 3 and 4, but I'm saying only team that's at least 500 other than the 6 that we all put in are the Raiders. All right, let's go to the NFC side of things. We'll go to the NFC East. Dallas 4 and 3, Philly 3 and 4, Giants 2 and 5. Washington seems like a distant 1 and 6 out of this thing. Mosher, you got?
I have written Cowboys/Eagles because I
can't do that.
I have not yet made my decision.
That's
on
like
this.
saying Badfish for your first band.
Come on, that's not a pick.
I don't want to kick the Eagles out because I honestly think they're going to do one of these late Andy Reid things.
Well,
but there you go. That's your pick.
But I guess I'm sticking with the Eagles.
Wow, the confidence is overwhelming.
The amazing thing is, if you stick with the Eagles, what do you do with Dallas? Because as we go through these teams, the wild card's going to be very tight.
I mean, we said that last year too. That you're only getting one team in the East, and Philly ended up getting it.
Yeah,
true.
And look,
That's
if you pick Dallas right now, they're one game behind Minnesota, they're one game behind Seattle, and they're one game behind Carolina's played one less game.
Lost its tiebreaker to the Packers.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No. There's a lot of football left to play.
It's just other than, I do this a little bit differently than you do it, and I mean we all do it differently. But for me, I go off more of, once we get into week 5, 6, 7, and so on, more of what we've seen.
Right.
And I'm not saying I've lost hope in the Eagles. I do think they have that type of run in them, but you lose to the Cowboys like that. That tells everything for me. For me, right now, it's the Cowboys for the NFC East.
Yeah, but you know all well that what you see is not always what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, but
that's the fun to try to figure out what you really think is going to happen.
For sure, but for this, I just go off what I've seen and the evidence that's been put out there.
Because of what I saw in that game, I'm going because you guys have I had Dallas winning the division earlier in the season. I just think they're a better team than Philly is. I think they're deeper. I think their roster's better. So, based on that, not what I saw in that game, because I think, quite frankly, Dallas will come to Philly, and Philly will probably beat them in December when they get here.
Maybe.
But will it be enough? I don't know. I think Dallas' team is pretty good, so I'm going Dallas again to win the East. I had Philly to start. I went to Dallas for a couple of weeks. I went back to Philly. I'm flopping back to Dallas again. All right, in the North, I've had the Bears all the way through. I'm off the Bears, although I'm not killing them, but I'm going Minnesota. Recently, offensively, I think their defense is the best.
Welcome aboard, Michael.
Minnesota, I'm in.
Minnesota for me.
By the way, they're a plus 69.
Good number.
Strong number.
Yeah.
I've also really liked what I've seen from the Minnesota Vikings guys, but I'm not ready to crown them. I've had the Packers since day one of this segment, and we all know what we've seen since then. They're my pick right now for the North.
I have the Minnesota Vikings as
just letting you get to the platform, man.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I give you the shot to come in over the top, and you didn't take it.
Vikings, I told you all, other than you, Ryan, who still think the Packers, but the Packers. But I like the way the Vikings are playing because they're actually doing this thing where you let the quarterback take his right arm and propel it forward with the ball spiraling out.
Interesting.
South, it's 6-1 Saints. 4-2 Carolina. They're kind of in this thing in the wild card mix too. I'm going Saints. What say yous?
Saints, man.
Or if we were in Pittsburgh, I'd say, what say yin?
What say yinzers? I'm going Saints, just like the Packers. I've had them since day one, and they look like the team that's coming out of the NFC today. Watch out for New Orleans, but they're my pick, guys.
New Orleans all the way. They're marching down the road.
We got 4 teams in the West. They're all 500 or better. 6-0, 5-2, 4-3, 3-3-1. So, let's get weird. Who do you like?
You know me. I ride or die even when my team loses, so I'm still on the Seahawks bandwagon even after that loss to the Ravens.
I am also on the Seahawks bandwagon.
Ride or die, baby.
Let's get it. I wanted to put Arizona in. Nah, not so fast.
I like San Francisco in the West. All right.
I like them even more after the Sanders trade, I imagine.
Yeah. Now, how interesting would it be if Garoppolo faced Brady in the Super Bowl?
That would be pretty good.
That'd be great.
Not as good as Rodgers, though.
No, but Garoppolo, he obviously they traded him away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be great. They could say they have the 2 best quarterbacks in history.
Adam Schefter last night, by the way, did you hear what he said?
Wow, that was like from left field.
Said Brady's no longer going to be a Patriot after this season.
He's going to be a free agent. And he's selling his house. And
what is happening
there?
That
was a little bit of a bombshell.
I did not hear that.
You would have heard that would be.
I heard Harry and Eitan I thought they were just like spitballing.
No,
that was the thing. He actually mouthed that sentence.
Now, I think people are so taken by it that it's not actually leading Sports Center. It's not all. It's like people don't really believe it.
It was so strange. Yeah, they're like, "Did you have a headache last night,
That
Adam?"
can't happen.
Yeah.
All right, 2 wild cards, Ryan.
The Vikings left them out there for the division, but we all know how good they look as of late with that whole throwing thing with Kirk Cousins, and the Niners.
Oh, Ryan has no Eagles in his group.
Nope, Eagles are out, boys. They're out.
I got the Niners and the Packers.
All right.
You have inside info.
And I got inside info that tells me this.
I've got Seattle
Free winner.
and Green Bay as my 2. Seattle, Green Bay. The NFC's loaded, by the way. You got means a 4-2 Panthers out, a 4-3 Rams out, a 3-3 division champion last year Bears out, a 3-4 Philadelphia team out.
Cardinals out.
Cardinals 3-3-1.
Why are we talking about the Cardinals?
Out.
What is going on here?
I think it's fair.
It's fair. Thank you.
They've won 3 in a row.
Yeah,
man.
Their teams combined of 3-18 record.
Culture yourself. Listen to some bad fish.
You can only play who's on the schedule.